The Organization of the Forgotten has managed to win the war against the Barian clan. However, we must ask ourselves, what was happening during the final battle? And what were those last two admins we saw in the final speech? Well, we'll learn about them right now in today's 2 episodes. And here we are back in the land of behind the duels of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed. This time we have silence. This is back when Havoc was getting eliminated by Mephiles permanently from his own body. Also, I bet this episode has some big significance to Spooky Electronics, considering, well, basically behind the scenes, S-Code Night, how to create a card pull, or like some tournament thing to decide whose deck would get to be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed. And Spooky won, going by Drake scales at the time. But yeah, congratulations, Spooky. Your deck won, and look at the character you got to create, essentially.
Now then, there's one more thing I should mention to you. As one of my admins and one of the most powerful members of the Organization of the Forgotten, you have a unique ability, similar to all of us.
The ability to shut up. It's actually very valuable in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Character.
My unique ability allows me to create new cards, but with a limit.
That limit becomes more and more baloney as time goes on. It basically means everything except Zark.
In a duel. Or as he likes to call it, shadow game. He's very obsessed with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's fun what he does.
As for you, now your ability is interesting. You can actually drain the souls of those who lose against you in a duel. And that energy you can either keep for yourself, or you can give to others, including me. If you give it to me, then I will be able to have more energy to create more cards.
Reggie Rever would love to hire this guy.
It's essential for our goals. So use it well, and use it wisely. I am relying on you to use this power to collect as much energy as you can. Understood?
I like the cut of your chip. I wonder if that gas mask even works, or just for decoration.
My lord, I have arrived.
Hi, Viper.
Ah, Viper, you're just in time. May I present to you our brand new admin? Ooh, new admin. Well, I hope he's a little bit more entertaining than Blaze. A pleasure.
I hope he lasts longer than Blaze, is what you meant to say.
Now, this...
At least Blaze got a mention again. Not just like dropped off and never did anything with again.
It is one of the finest creations I have ever made. I'm sure it will serve you well.
You can at least pretend to speak.
Appears to be a strong silent type, I see. Yes.
Well, as they say, silence is violence. Especially, literally in this case.
Yes, this will suffice. Since you are one of my admins, you shall be given a name, and I have chosen it well. Your new name shall be Silence.
Really? You get names like Viper, Mephiles, there was a Blaze, and I get shut up, essentially?
So...
At least your names are kinda coolish.
Here. Simple. Viper and Silence. There's a duelist causing quite a ruckus in Section 5D. I would like the two of you...
In the Synchro Dimension?
You, Silence, will be taking on this duelist. I would like one final examination from you.
Hurry on before they head to GX.
As one of my greatest admins. Viper, show him the way. Of course.
Do you know the way?
But what about you? Well, let's just say I have a chess match to attend to.
Oh, he's ought to fight minus. I'm also going to do a sing-along song, kiddies.
Well, enough dawdling, Silence. Come. Your test awaits.
Don't worry, we'll be sure to give you good grades if you do well. Well, at least it proves he's listening.
This is the duelist that has been giving us so much trouble.
The ocean! I knew it! Lavas? Oh no!
It's over, you scum.
We're facing off against Flare Vermilion in the Unleashed universe.
Right.
What?
Ah. You ended my turn? Why
Bitch.
did you draw?
Cheater.
Battle Guard King, attack his life points directly and end this duel. Ah!
Well, that was technically more than one turn, so it qualifies by my own rules.
Oh, how amusing.
I haven't seen a cheater like that in a long time.
The Organization of the Forgotten doesn't take too kindly to cheaters. Well, what can I say? This is a battle. We do what we can to survive.
We gotta make the organization come up with sort of like good guys in this scenario to go deal with cheaters.
The other Barrian clan soldiers.
Although at least this proves that the organization wasn't being wiped out, rather it wasn't doing 100% victory.
You guessed correctly.
Great, now they know. Good work, Einstein.
To scout out the
At least say I lost my mask.
falls and rises.
Why are you telling them this?
I'm telling you this because I know neither of you two will be around to tell anyone else when I'm done with you.
As is our favorite character, what was his name again? 5D, we'll call him. I know he's in the 5D district, but that's all we have.
Alright then, I'll play along. What makes you so special? Well, wait, hold on.
I stopped caring.
That jester? Harsh. Oh, of course! You must be a member of the Bandit Warrior Academy.
I hated that guy in Arc 5. Just went around cheating everywhere against Yugioh. And then got paid, and then paid the ultimate price for it. And then they tried to do a suicide metaphor when he came back, and it just fell on its face.
But Viper, Silence should ask. Who is the Bandit Warrior Academy? Well, regardless of you being so uninterested, I'll be telling
No,
you
seriously, if you think that Ruby Volume 9 did suicide bad, I did, well...
was a dueling school in Paradise City.
I
They
don't
were
know.
known for their very...
You both did it bad, we'll just say, because Arc 5's answer was, hey, you feel like you want to die? Just smile!
Was a success. They were
The end.
responsible for cutting a number of duelists
Now lose to Yugioh.
short. And that's only the short
Ugh.
story. But ever since action dueling was considered unsafe, their dueling school's harsh dueling methods were finally put into
Yeah,
questioning.
now that we can't cheat anymore, maybe cheating is
Their
wrong.
academy was starting to suffer, and their founder passing away 3 years ago was the final nail in that coffin. Ah, shut it. My dueling
For
school
you guy,
may be
there
long
even was a
gone,
leader
but
thing
as long as
there.
people like me are around, I'll happily keep both
Arc
the
5
Pride and
introduced
Conqueror
so many
and
characters and then
alive.
did nothing with the majority of
Your
them.
dueling methods may include broken bones or injured brains. Which do you prefer? If you're done mocking us and spouting out facts,
If you're
that
done
I
making
already
fun of
know,
Yamcha, never!
to duel the two of you so I can crush you and move on to the next sorry sods. I would, but unfortunately, this isn't my fight. This will be yours, Silence. Prove yourself. Both to me and Mephiles. You?
But Viper, I don't have one of those dual discs with AIs that speak for you. Well, this isn't the Dragonverse. What are you talking about?
Easier than I thought. Not not gonna talk, huh? Very well.
It's a strong and silent
That
type.
makes it all the more easier to wipe you out. Let's go. Duel! I'll make the first move. I draw my 5 cards.
That corner on the top right is
I
inconvenient.
activate the spell
Oh, what are
card
you gonna do?
Polymerization. I use it to combine Lava Battle Guard and Swamp Battle Guard in my hand. With these 2 monsters, I fusion summon Battle Guard Swamp.
Are you sure you're not
Ogre.
in the organization with support like that? I guess
Since you
then
can
again,
summon no
Arc 5, whatever.
monsters, my ogre
To be
allows
fair,
me
the
to
Battle
draw
Guard
2
guy in
cards
Arc
when he's
5 was in a
summoned.
total of like 2 episodes.
4
Because the
cards
first episode was
summoned
2
in my
episodes
hand,
essentially.
I end my
It's a
turn.
2-parter. So we never got to see more.
Draw.
It's possible it could have existed and we just never saw
I
it.
activate.
Oh, so now you see
Also,
the
yes,
talk.
now he speaks.
All right then. Come at me.
I activate the field spell, Bedrock Loading Screen. This adds 1 Bedrock monster from my deck to my hand.
Bedrock.
Next, I summon
Yeah, like from the
Bedrock
Flintstones.
Ramseer. Activate effect. Once per turn, I can inflict 1,000 points of damage to your life points. You can choose to negate this effect, but it will cost you 500 life points.
Pay 500 to avoid 1,000?
Worthless effect if you ask me. But alright then, I'll negate it by paying 500 life points.
My monster's effect is negated and it is destroyed. Activate effect. As punishment for negating my monster's effect, my loading screen banishes 2 cards from
Oh!
your hand.
Yeah, that's right. The Archetype House has punishment.
My hand.
Punishment
Since the
for
effect of a
negating the
Bedrock monster
effects.
is negated, I can special summon Bedrock
Man,
Dynasty.
imagine you like negate Ash Blossom and because of that Delinquent Duo activates.
Dynasphere
Like,
allows
God,
you
no, I don't
to
want to think of that
summon
timeline.
one monster you control.
Counter fairies, where every time you counter the counter fairies, you get countered.
However, your monster is destroyed instead.
I won't have to. Once per turn, I can activate my ogre's special ability. By banishing a level 5 or higher monster from my graveyard, he can negate a monster effect or negate the summon of a monster and destroy it.
That's one way to get around it.
As punishment for
But it was still
negating
negate
my
either
monster's
way.
effect, my loading screen banishes 2 more cards from your hand.
You've completely emptied my hand.
Which means you start with 7 cards in hand.
Since the effect of a bedrock monster was negated, I can special summon my Ramseer
Then again,
from
he's
my
already going ahead
graveyard.
just doing that, so we already proved he's a
Effect
cheater.
only works once per turn. So
Oh
I
no,
can
the cheater
face
cheated.
down and end my turn.
Not the type of person to talk back, huh? Whatever.
Not
I
really.
draw.
Not really one who gives
Perfect. I
smack
activate
talk
quick
or
spell fairy immediate
talking
crush.
trash. Just get straight to the
This lets my
point.
monster inflict piercing. And that's just what I need. Go, Battle Swamp Ogre. Attack and obliterate his monster.
Trap open. Bedrock barrier. This allows me to negate your monster's
Reminds me of
attack.
Lightsworn Barrier.
You can choose to negate this effect, but if you do, your battle phase ends automatically.
So, no, doesn't matter if I negate it or not.
Point. Either way, he's not letting me attack him. Fine. I'll let you negate my attack. There's nothing else I can do. I end my
Special
turn.
ability activated. Because you didn't negate my attack, you can draw 2 cards. No, that doesn't exist, but imagine, like, the punishment pain sort of thing.
Allowing me to inflict
That's on my archetype.
1,000
Spooky made it, not me.
points of damage. You can choose to negate this effect by paying 500.
It would be an interesting idea. It's Spooky. If you're watching this, in the comment section, why don't you can go ahead, why not tell us where the like inspiration came from for this archetype? Like why Bedrock? Where'd you come up with the idea with the effects? Stuff like that. Feel free to share. That is a downside thanks to the negation. Thanks to the cost going through. Ooh. He grabbed the hand. He saw it coming. Ugh. He grabbed the arm and broke it. I don't think it's supposed to bend that way. Too bad he can't. Too bad he's not double jointed. Could really show off the broken arm.
Bedrock.
But hey, gets the job done.
I can special summon this monster cost-free. You can choose to negate this effect by skipping your next battle phase.
No! I activate my ogre's effect! I banish another wind monster from my
Level 5 or higher battle guard, but...
Level 5 or higher. Your monster is special summoned.
Eh, it's fine. It came back?
It's back?
Nani?
As punishment for negating my Shadow Knight's effect and destroying it, it can now special summon itself back from my graveyard with its attack strength doubled.
So the moral of the story of this archetype is don't negate them.
It has over 5,000 attack points. Well, it doesn't even matter. It's still not enough to finish me off.
Activate effect Bedrock Shadow Knight. By banishing another
Giant
Bedrock monster from my graveyard, he gains an additional attack this
Well, now it's enough. Why did I open my mouth?
No. No.
Time to die.
Bedrock Shadow Knight. Attack his monster and then attack his life points directly.
Shadow Slash.
Surging Shadow Slash.
Like we had the same idea, essentially.
Duels.
See, this is proof you don't need to go into 5,000 extra deck monsters in order to win a duel. You can sometimes just use your main deck if it's enough. Remember that power we talked about in the first episode? Or like the beginning of the episode, I meant to say?
Please.
Nice little filter, making it look like a manga. Actually looks pretty good. Yeah. That actually looked excellent. Ooh, Jesus Christ, it's like a skeleton. Me waiting for GTA 6.
Well,
Me waiting for Megalith support.
done. I can see why Mephiles was so proud of you.
And back to silence.
The silent treatment again. Well, whatever. I was given my orders during your duel. You're to remain in this post to fight off any unfortunate duelists. But be assured, I will be looking into this. Lancers being here while we're fighting this Barian clan. I'll make sure to look it up. I'll even put in a good word for you.
Thumbs up.
I take it this silent treatment's gonna be a common thing.
It's kind of my gimmick.
Fine, I'll get used to it. Remain here until further notice. Make sure that no other pesky duelists get in our
Do
way.
you count? Silence may not be the most in-depth of all the characters, but when you got a bunch of people who have stuff like that, Silence will return. No duh. Sometimes you need the strong and silent type of the group. You know, wouldn't call him an edgelord or a loner. Just doesn't. You know, if you don't have anything to say, why speak? Sometimes I feel like I have nothing. Maybe just feels he has nothing interesting to say or something like that. It's okay. Not every character needs a long, in-depth backstory of who they are and what they are as a human being. Sometimes just be like, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Anyway, I'd like to bring back with the Academy and their whole mess-up thing. Yeah, they should go around assaulting people to win duels. Yeah, they could just do that. And apparently one got to be a Lancer. Did he lie? Or did they just be like, okay, when we said all hands on deck, we meant all hands on deck. Like, why would the Lancers recruit someone like that? Unless they were, like, really desperate for men or anything they could get their hands on. Like, come on, guys, you're supposed to be interdimensional cops and you hire a friggin' bully. I know there's, like, crooked cops and all that stuff, but this guy, like, actually applied with that on his resume. It isn't like he you was like pretended he wasn't, and then he just like got corrupted with power. He was already that. What the frig? Akaba Reggie, did that one just go under your nose? Were you just like signing papers that day? Just like, oh, I got too much paperwork. Fine, whatever. Just get this out of my sight. Because I've had those things, but it's also like, I don't think Reggie would do that. Ugh. Sorry, Declan. Going by Doug names. Ugh, what the frig? Ugh. But as for the duel itself, it was fine. Set up the new character and his whole gimmick with his new archetype. The archetype is truly a threat in the fact of, like, don't negate us, or else. If you do negate us, or else. It's one of those, just like, how do I get around this one? I guess you just let him get away with everything, but then there's going to be some cards in the deck, spoiler warning, where you want to let them get negated, because some are more devastating. Like, that one card where it's like, hey, burn for 1,000, or take 500. If you didn't have the field sped up, you could just negate that one without any issue, right? But it's one like Shadow Knight, which is a boss monster, obviously, where it's like, no, don't negate it. Don't. And obviously, if you don't have if he does have the field sped up, you basically can't negate anymore unless you have no cards in hand. Meanwhile, I would laugh out loud if he did that, and then imagine he activates that effect, like, now banish 2 cards in your hand. What am I fighting? Oh, Infernities. Oh, crap. Thank you! Unfortunately, they sell their monsters in the spell and trap zone anyway, so what are you going to do? That's a joke. Oy. But, yeah, strong a bit of... I still don't get that. Like, why couldn't you just make him an organization member? Because they're all, like, no, not an organization. Why couldn't you just become a part of the Barian clan? Minus is getting all the guys again. I know you don't want to put the mask on. You could have just been like, oh, it fell off somewhere after I won another duel. You know, I'm running around grabbing people and stuff like that. Of course it fell off. That's something natural. But no, he's part of the Lancers, so he can go ahead and tell everyone. So the whole reason that Mephiles knows everything is because of this dumbass that somehow snuck under the... This does more damage to the Lancers than it does anyone else. I want you to know that. Regardless of who took the L in this episode, the real loser was the Lancers. Ugh. Idiots. Ugh. But hey, strong showing for the organization, I guess. We're going to be introduced to the... Unfortunately for us, there's still one worse than him, in my opinion. Gives me a more uncomfortable feeling. Ugh, we got to deal with that next. But until that time, congratulations again to Spooky for winning that create a card pull. I put in one of my own, and there was another couple ones, but it's Spooky, you came out on top. I'm not going to say like Spooky beat hundreds of people, but you beat a few. You still won. Is it really a fight for the only competition? No. But regardless, I still think this is a darn good episode and good work to S-Code. Regardless of that whole Lancer thing, that one was just like, what? What were you thinking? This one that kind of makes the organization look like the good guys. So just like, yeah, this guy's just a cheater, and he's stuck in the Lancers and he's just going around blabbing to people. What the frig? Still a fine episode, though. I guess. Anyway, why don't we just move on to the next scene? So, I thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next time. Later.